Hello, everybody. It's Hollywood Bets Kenilworth Guineas, Cape Guineas Day. It's a beautiful day in terms of racing, and we're going to start up with Daryl Marie and Darren Burrows with regards to the second race on the card, which is the Coronation Plate, fillies over 1,000 metres. And in this race, just to quickly give you an idea, when we were doing this on Friday, that number 8, Blowing in the Wind, 28-10 favourite. 3, Sahara Cat is 3-1. And number 9, Whistle the Tune is priced up 7-2. So, Darren Burrows, I'll start with you. It appears that the racehorses might end up being good enough here.
It's very difficult to say, Clyde. When you see well-bred first-timers like Babalicious, Dark Winter, Gimme Fabulous, Little Ballerina, and others, even a horse like, those are the principal first-timers, but it gets very tricky. We have to follow the market. I was impressed with Sahara Cat's debut. I thought it was a very good effort. The money was down. Richard Farina takes the ride and will appreciate the step up in trip. Of the rest, Blowing in the Wind and Whistle the Tune, there's nothing separating them on form. So of the race runners, I've got to go with Sahara Cat.
Okay, Sahara Cat, your side. Daryl, obviously it's a bipot, so that's quite tricky. What's the plan in the bipots?
Clyde, you won't believe it. Exactly 5 minutes ago, I made a mistake and I changed my bipot numbers from 8 and 9 to 3 and 9 because I thought the 8 was scratched, but it's not. It's the 10 that's scratched. So I made it error, but I'm happy to stick with numbers 3 and 9. Number 3 was all the rage first time out. She did have excuses. But what's interesting over here is the Cotson Yard made it clear that the filly that beat number 3, Sweetie Darling, has nothing on number 9 back at home, and that's why they backed the 9 off the boards first time out, because she was rumoured to be several lengths better than Sweetie Darling. And I was actually impressed with her debut. She was doing it easily up front. I thought green. She didn't even have a mind on the job, and she held off Blowing in the Wind quite comfortably. Now, obviously, Blowing in the Wind is 3 kilograms better off, but I actually think that Whistle the Tune will confirm that form despite the turnaround in the weight. So I'm happy to go numbers 3 and 9, although I did have 9, 8 originally. I had one other thing. The Cotson Yard have quite a few scratchings on the card. So let's just see if those line up, because they have scratched a few others on the day.
Yeah, I noticed that. I saw there was something going on over there. Okay, well, let's put bipots up now and work out what we're going to do in terms of our play. This is the intention at the end of the day, as you can see, that is currently on the screen. Obviously, Daryl Marie's worked this one out, and you guys can take some time in scanning or jotting it down, entirely up to you. But the most important thing is to get this bipot on, because you're going to get money on Saturday. On to the third, the Commonwealth Plate over 1,000 metres. Note that 2 and 6 and 13 and 15 all not running here. That's the latest on the Friday. There's a first timer in your top of the boards Friday, the 14 Roman Agent from Justin Snaith, 28-10. The 12 Cola Tonic for Gareth Funzel. Cabela Mazzaniani is riding particularly well, 4-1. And Vaughan Marshall's got the 7 Lion Rampant. Daryl, I want to talk to you. Jan Janssen van Vieren's got a couple of unraced horses in the Cape, I see.
Yes, he does, Clyde. And there are comments in the front of the computer form. Let me just scroll to them. Race 3. Jan says number 1 is a nice horse, might need the experience. And number 5 is a nice horse. So one thing I can say, Clyde, is number 14, Roman Agent. Justin Snaith's comment is extremely upbeat. Very smart colt and will go close first time up. Now, if you have a look at his sibling, or his siblings, Clyde, they all won very early as juveniles. Dumbledore, I think it is, won on debut, and then Can You Keep It Secret and Voldemort both won in their second start as juveniles. So he's extremely well bred, and the yard seemed very bullish. So despite being unraced, I think he could actually be the one to be with over here. Now, numbers 7 and 12 obviously met on debut. There was very little separating the two. If you go to the Hollywood Bets Syndicate website, they say number 7, Lion Rampart, has got a good each-way chance, and he was unlucky not to have finished a touch closer on debut. And then number 12 does hold him. I don't think there will be much separating the two once again. So I went 11 and 14, yeah, Clive.
Okay, so Darren, what do you know about the Justin Snaith first-timer, Darren?
Well, there has been talk about it since this morning. We're recording on Friday morning, and they're expecting a massive run. Highly regarded in the stable. That whole family were champions. Mystic Spring through. I mean, she was Broodmare of the Year multiple times. She threw Secret of Victoria. She was a Grade 1 winner, the dam of this horse. That family is very good. This horse sold for over R1 million at the sales. So they're very upbeat, and I think he could make a winning debut. If you're looking for dangers, maybe the raced runners, numbers 7 and 12, but maybe we should have a small bet on Roman Agent to make a winning debut.
Okay, thanks for the confidence there. Let's get place accumulators because it's that time now. We'll put our place accumulators up, and there we go. You guys can have a look at what Daryl Marie has figured out himself. Darren's quite keen on the first time of 14 Roman Agent, but they're the numbers, guys. Let's get this up and running and going and get those place accumulators on. Now it's time for the pick 6, and let's get that worked out. It's a 1400 class 2 first leg. Quality field is some decent ones that are running here. Market's got number 5, Captain Fontaine, at 33 to 10. Number 8, One Underworld, is trading 33 to 10, so they're joint favourites. Then 7, It's Raining William, is 5 to 1. 9, Seeking the One, 7s. And then 6, Silver Operator, 7 to 1. So, yeah, I think there are a couple in here. I guess Daryl Vaughan Marshall got a couple of strong ones running. What do you think?
Clive, what's interesting of here is obviously Bernard Fader is the stable jockey. Well, it appears to be. And he's ridden Captain Fontaine in his last 2 starts, and he's opted to ride Silver Operator. Now, Silver Operator, Clyde, have a look at his course and distance form. He's a specialist over 7 furlongs on the summer course at Kenilworth. He's had 5 goes for 4 wins. He obviously needed his last starts. Bernard takes the mount now. I'm expecting improvement on his comeback run. So I'm leaning towards Silver Operator as the right one from the yard. It's Raining William. Last time out, I watched that race, Clyde. He came out, he was well positioned, but he was just doing it too hard. Grant gets on extremely well with the son of William Longsword, and I like the fact that he's coming back in trip, so he's a major player. But the one that could be Underworld. A lovely effort last, but Clyde, this horse should actually be unbeaten over 1400. His run at Fairview, he was very unlucky not to have won. And then he beat, that was on the turf. And then he won on the poly track over 1400. I actually think he's at his best over 1400 at this stage of his career. And with 52 to shoulder, I think he could potentially be the right horse.
Yeah, and Muzi's riding so well at the moment, Muzi Yeni. He's on Underworld. Darren, what do you make of the race?
Clyde, I thought Underworld one of the leading lights in the race. I've always been a big fan of this horse, and his penultimate start was too short, over 1,000. Last time out, the 1,200 also just caught him out. And now the ideal track and trip, peak fitness, everything in his favour, and he receives a lot of weight from the other runners. Another lightweight to consider is Seeking the One. Now, I watched him carefully last time out. I actually liked him. And he was outpaced towards the back of the field, and he was making steady progress through runners. I just get the feeling the 1,400 going to suit him down to the ground. He's a brother to Seeking the Stars, who's also a 1,400-meter specialist. And I think 8 and 9, the bottom weights, could fight it out. Now, dangers, Captain Fontaine, Silver Operator, It's Raining William, and Light Speed.
Yeah, it does have that look and feel to it, this race, doesn't it? Pick 6s. Darren would have worked one out for us now for the Cape Guineas Pick 6. There it is. It's up on screen. Darren's got a couple of bankers lined up for you as well in the play. As you can see, there are a lot of horses in the other legs. but 2 bankers that we want to focus and shout home. Get the numbers down. On to race number 5, a class 4 over 1,600 metres, and Kingdom of Heaven is the one to beat here. This is number 5 on the card, priced up 22 to 10. Still easy to back, Darren, but I know you've made this the play of the day. You think this horse is in the right race and been well placed, etc.? I know, impressive winner last time. Obviously, you're very confident it'll win again.
Yes, Clyde. You know, he's finally learning how to race. He used to overdo it terribly, not take any interest in running. And now the penny's dropping. His last run, he switched off beautifully just off the pace and he ran away from them. I was very impressed. And you know, this is a class 4 race. Even though he's carrying 61.5, that'll be no concern. I really expect him to win again. As long as he just drops his head and settles, that long run in at Kenilworth is going to suit him down to the ground. So I think very hard to beat and a banker in all bets.
Okay, so there's confidence from your corner. Daryl Marie, what do you make of it?
Now, Clyde, the only concern I have is whether he'll settle in running or not. I do know they tend to go a little bit quicker at Durbanville. Longer Kenilworth, straight, more testing track. I'm not too sure what sort of pace he's going to get. So that's the reason why I didn't banker him. But if you watch his later start, you'd be ultra impressed. And there's no doubt that he's better current rating. I mean, going through the cloud, the jock was absolutely swinging on him. So he was very impressive. Lindbergh, the son of Lancaster Bombers having his first start for yard. Clyde, he certainly is much better than a maiden winner. So having his handicap debut, I'm not ruling him by today. I want to see how he goes because he is unexposed of this distance. And then gets impressed, promising post-maiden efforts. That was over the course and distance. He's got a lot in his favour. He's drawn well. JP knows him better in a race this time round. If you like his chances, you have to give Bardolino a chance, who meets him a kilo and a half better off, and it's a much smaller field, and Bardolino should be closer to the pace this time round. So if Kingdom of Heaven settles, I can see him go back. But that's my only concern, Clyde.
Yeah, interesting. You pointed out that Lindbergh's having its first run for the Brett Crawford stable, so we'll watch that closely. Okay, well, let's put our jackpots up now because that's what comes up next. And it is Darren Burrows' jackpot. He's obviously keen on number 5, Kingdom of Heaven, by horses to get this jackpot home. So we enter the Victor Stakes, a Group 3 event now, Darren Burrows, and I got to ask you the question, is that Osarki ready to win now?
Clyde, she's a very good filly and she needed her last start. She got beat 3 1/4 lengths by Enemy Territory, and she's better off at the weights, 6.5 kilos. But in saying that, Enemy Territory was very impressive, and the further she goes, the better she gets. So going for 4 in a row, I would include both of them, 2 and 8. But I've got to lean towards Happy Chance. Now, she's a filly loaded with ability. She's had the 2 comeback runs, and she's stepping up to the right trip finally. Her first start of 1,800 meters. I think she's a massive runner with Richard Fourie. Of the rest, Hold My Hand and Gold Poker Game have outside chances.
Okay, so that kind of race. It's an interesting race that ultimately there's a track that'll be facing the starter. Yeah, Daryl, what's your first choice?
I'm going to be leaning towards Happy Chance, Clyde. This filly's only ever been a mile in the past, and she's had 3 goes at it, I think, and she's won 2 of them. Well, 2 out of her 3 career victories have been over a mile, and on those occasions she wasn't stopping. I think this race has been a target for the stable for quite some time now. I think you can see by the preparation she's had going into it. So I think now that she's been stepped up to the right trip, as Darren alluded to, I think she could be the one to beat. But I was very impressed with Saartjie's comeback run. I know she was thumped on that occasion, but she gave away a lot of weight. And with the turnaround of 6 kilograms and stripping fitter and certainly being better over this distance, I think she does have the chance to reverse the form with enemy territory. I'm not saying it's going to happen, but she certainly can. I'm leaning towards Happy Chance. I make Saartjie a biggest danger.
Okay, it's always been a good race, the Victor Stakes. Let's put selections up now as we move on and have a look. And you'll notice, excuse me, that Daryl Marie has got his swinger going over here. He likes both numbers 2 and 5. That's where he's going with Saartjie and Happy Chance. Well, the Richmond Peninsula handicap, Group 3 over 1,800 meters, has got... I'm sure a few people just sort of tangled up in which way to go, because there are a number of horses here, Daryl Marie, that can win in a race like this. You know, some decent horses that are meeting each other once again, with particular reference, obviously, to the likes of Rockpool, etc. And there are a few sneakers, I would imagine, in here that you must like.
I don't know about sneakers, Clyde. I suppose one lower down on the betting board could be Senso Unico. You know, he was winning when the stable was going through a quiet patch. Vaughan Marshall's stable is doing extremely well currently, but in his later start, I don't think where he was positioned quite helped his chances, Clyde. I think he's more one pace than he has to be closer to the pace. So I think if Bernard does push forward this time around, I can certainly see him featuring. I've been waiting for Rockpool to get back at Kenilworth on the longer running, Clyde. He's not a Durbanville horse. I liked his progress from run one to run 2 since returning from a rest, and Richard Fourie reunites with him. So he knows what he's all about. He's going to be super fit come Saturday, and I'm going to be leaning towards him. But if you do like his chances, Clyde, you certainly can't discount Ponto Pietro and Sugar Mountain's chances. I mean, there's very little separating the three of them. I had my doubts over Sugar Mountain, seeing it out the 1800 last time out. I thought he was a bit unfortunate not to have won. So he can confirm that form despite the turnaround in the weights. And then Ponte Pietro from one draw, he doesn't quite help the jockey in the early stages. So let's see if he can hold his position from that stall gate. But I think Rockpool back at Kenilworth, Clyde, could be the one to beat.
Okay, thanks for that. Darren, you agree with that?
I do agree, but I'm leaning towards Ponte Pietro in the race because I think he's just so well handicapped. He's going the right trip, everything in his favour. I think he's an up-and-coming 4-year-old. He's only had 9 starts for 4 wins and 4 places. And I think having his third run back, he'll be right there. He is a Cape Met entry, but I think that's a bit out. He might be a bit outclassed at those sort of weights. Rockpool, my second choice. I liked his last run. He's had 2 comeback runs. He'll be cherry ripe for this race. And Richard Fourie gets on well with him. Future Swing could be another horse to consider with 52.5 kilos. He won the Algoa Cup last time out. That was his first try of an extended trip, and he enjoyed it. Of the rest, Waterbury Lane and Senso Unico. But I thought numbers 1 and 4 to fight it out.
Yeah, okay. Waiting to see at the Rockpool with that low action when he puts his head down into the ground and strides out. Let's see how he does it on Saturday. Okay, let's take a look at selections then for this event. We've got a Daryl Marie jackpot. As you can see, he's gone 1, 2, 4, and 8, by 2, 4, 5, 8, and 10, by 1 and 12, by 3, 6, 7, and 10. Well, welcome back. And now, of course, it's time for the Cape Guineas. This is the big one, ladies and gents. This is the race we've been waiting for this afternoon. And at the end of the day, the favourite number 4, Klaklui, 5-2, just seems to have come on at the right time. 8, Tail of the Comet. Spoke to Sean Terry yesterday. Said put a line through the last run, 9-2. Number 10, Green with Envy, 9-2. And Justin Snade's got the other one in there that was 5, Snow Pilot. That's part of top of the boards, or top half anyway, at 11-2. Darren, well, let's start with you now. Exactly what is the plan with Tail of the Comet and Klakui, or is there something else in here?
Well, Clyde, we were all on Tail of the Comet last time out. My only concern that day was the mile, because his damn Comet Chaser was 1,000-meter specialist. And I thought over the extended trip, how's he going to go? Is he going to give that finishing burst, or is he going to be one-paced? And he was one-paced. So I don't know about putting a line through that last run. It could have just proven that he doesn't stay. So we'll have to see how he goes. Obviously, I won't exclude him, but I am a bit nervous about the mile once again. I think he's a top sprinter up to 1,400 meters. Now, I like Green with Envy from the Canamare stable. Last time out, he was beaten 0.45 lengths by Klue, and I just get the feeling he's got the come-on look about him. He was a bit backward early, type of horse, very green. He's learning how to race now, and I think he can reverse the form. Then Klue must be a massive runner, won well last time out. Snow Pilot was on his heels. Questioning's not out of it. Red Palace and Zumi. So I'm going Green with Envy each way. But if Tail of the Comet does bounce back over a mile, he could be the horse to beat then.
Yeah, it's another competitive Hollywood Bets Cape Guineas. Daryl, even a horse Daryl like this horse Red Palace, I mean, we know how good he is. You just got to behave.
Yeah, Clyde She. Yeah, I can't have her. Her temperament always gets the better of her. Let's see it quietly. I mean, she's a lovely sort, and she's very imposing, and she puts her opposition on the back foot from the jump. But I mean, apparently they've done the work on her. Yeah, but let's see if she loads quietly. I mean, then it's a different ballgame. But I need to see her behave. The dogs are barking, Clyde, for Red Palace. Yeah, I don't know, Clyde. Go to Green with Envy's penultimate starts. I mean, Questioning played with him, and Questioning was returning from a layoff on that occasion, and Green with Envy was having his peak run. So, in my mind, he certainly ran below par a lot in his second run after a rest. Very keen to see how he goes, but Klakui has been ultra impressive. I mean, he turned into the straight stone last time out. He was having his second run after a rest. He went by them. It's hard to see him reverse that form. I mean, any of the opposition reverse the form with him if he just puts in a similar effort. But I'm saying that Questioning ran below par, and he's going to be his biggest dangers. So I'm going 2 and 4. Out respect for Tail of the Comets, because I think he ran flat too.
All right. Well, that's interesting. I mean, the last time, just so that you know, the filly won the Colts Guineas was, I think, back Jeff Woodruff's filly. Can't remember her name now. 1992 or 93, she won it. The name escapes me for right now. But all right, that's the latest on this big one. Let's have a look at what we're going to do in this particular event. And it's going to be going with Darren Burrows. He says Green with Envy may well be the best horse in the race.